Hey folks, welcome back to Jerome Bee Farm and Homestead. So it is Tuesday, July 6th. Hope everyone had an awesome 4th of July. So here at the bee farm on the 3-day weekend, we were working on the chicken pen. So after I posted the last video of all the disasters of the spring and the coyote taking 19 chickens, it was like 2 days later, the coyote got in there again. And I had no idea how I got in there, if he's slipping under or jumping over, but the fence was all working. It was working correctly. So it's not that it wasn't working the last time. I think he's jumping over it is what I think's happening. Anyway, so it's like, that's it. We got to do something different. So I ordered all the fence supplies at Tractor Supply, and I got the posts from Home Depot on order, and Friday I went around and I picked everything up. So Saturday, Sunday, Monday, I was working on that. So we got us a 6-foot fence there now. Has a digging barrier, and it's going to have electric wire around the top. And I'm not done with all the digging barrier yet, but I'm going to get that finished up as soon as I can. So yesterday, when I went in the house in the evening, I noticed I had a text message from Wildflower Meadows. So apparently, their head beekeeper has been watching the videos and really liked them and said how cool it was. And he saw the videos where we went through and reviewed all of the 6 queens that we got, and the one wasn't doing so great, right? And he mentioned some supersedures and requeening and things. He saw that was going on, and that was a struggle, right? I think that was the one that said inspect, fail, and repeat was the thumbnail, because that's how it feels sometimes. He saw that and he said, hey, we want to send you some free queens. How about that? And I was like, okay, that sounds like a good deal. So they're sending 2 queens. They're probably on an airplane right now, flying from California to Oklahoma City. And we'll pick those up tomorrow morning and get them installed. So what I'm going to do today, instead of working on the chicken pen, is I need to pull a couple of splits and have a queenless little hive ready to bank these queens in. So I'm not going to make 2 more hives. I'm just going to bank them in nukes, because I know for sure some of these requeening hives back here won't be successful. And at that point, when I decide to just end the attempt to get them a queen right, I'll just combine one of these new queens on with them. So that's the plan, and I'm going to try and use the double swarm hives. So earlier on in the spring we had the big 2 double swarms, and we're going to go in those and pull some frames, some cap brood, and we don't want a lot of eggs in there, because we don't want them to start a supersedure. So we're going to get some cap brood and some resource frames like pollen and nectar. And we'll shake some nurse bees in there, get a good population. That's the key to a successful split, is a good strong population to start with. So we're going to do that. Hopefully those 2 swarm hives will be good candidates for that, and I think they will. They've got honey supers on them, but we'll pull those off and get them out of the way and get in there and see what we find. That's the plan going in, right? But you know how the plans change. So let's get in there, see what we find, and get prepped for our free Wildflower Meadow queens. How about that? Let's get going. Okay, here's our 2 swarm hives right here. You can see there's a lot of, it's not really bearding, but They're not really washboarding either. I guess they are a little bit. But yeah, the stronger hives are all doing that. So a little bit of bearding going on that one, on hive 21. Hive 21 is a really strong hive this year. So it's got 2 full supers, and I put that third one on there later. I don't know if they'll do anything with that or not. But I'm going to start right here on this one on the right with the smoker on it, and we'll just do one at a time. You don't want to do 2 at a time. It'd be too much chaos and bees in the air. Kind of curious to see how much honey is in these, because these are brand new hives that started, you know, from the ground up basically. This is one of those supers that doesn't have a good handles cut on it. Feels like it's about half full. And just a little smoke. So there's not a lot of bees flying right now. It's evening, but it's not that late, so normally there'd be a lot of activity, but I'm pretty sure the nectar flow has slowed down quite a bit, so that's why we're not seeing a lot. Seeing a lot of honey up here, but that's just the top. So there's what we're looking at. You can see the tops of the frames have, they're not drawn out wide, but there's honey at the top of each one of those, and there's bees covering them down underneath there. So hopefully we'll find the brood that we want up here in the top, but I don't know. We'll just have to see. Start on this outside frame here. It's in there pretty tight. So yeah, it's all honey, a little bit uncapped there, and this is almost capped, all capped. So it's breaking apart there because there was some burr comb to the side of the box, so I'll scrape that off so it doesn't tear it up anymore. Stuff right there. It's okay if a little bit falls down in your hive, the bees will clean it up. And some big chunks of propolis down in there. Yuck! Get off my glove. Okay. That is some sticky stuff. Don't let it get on your shoes. And then walk in the house. That's a good way to really piss off your wife. Heavy honey frame. A little bit of pollen at the bottom of this one. Oh no, I think I see freaking drone brood. Maybe it's just because this frame. Actually, this is drone brood that's supposed to be drone brood, because that's drone comb. I was worried that we had laying workers, but this is what drone brood looks like. It's bigger diameter holes, and it's supposed to be drones. This is natural comb, it's not foundation, so a lot of times they'll make this natural foundation that they draw themselves. They'll make a drone comb out of it. So this is not what we want in our split. Don't want a bunch of drones. So queen is laying up top. So this is mostly honey. There's a few workers laid down there at the bottom. And mostly honey. Boy, if I didn't know better, they may be honey bound. There's a lot of pollen right there, so maybe the next frame will be what we're looking for. Yeah, I think it is. These are not the frames you're looking for. Yeah, this is exactly what we want. A lot of capped brood, plus it's got a lot of honey on it, so we won't have to worry about feeding them. But there's not a lot of bees on this, so we're going to have to shake some nurse bees in there. And we need to make sure our queen's not on this frame. So these frames, or this queen, in both these hives are not marked. So we're going to take this one. Boy, so much honey in here. I'm guessing we're going to have to go down below and to find us a... Well, so here's our pollen that we're going to need. So we can go ahead and take this one. So we got a frame of brood that's got brood on both sides. And there's pollen on both sides here. And we got all that honey. The danger of all this honey adding it in there like that is it could get robbed. Just taking a little extra time, making sure that queen's not on here. Which I wouldn't expect to see her here, because this is a food resource frame. But when you smoke your bees, the queen will go strange places. So we'll put that in here next to the brood. So now we need nurse bees. Hopefully we can get what we need on these next two frames. So we're just going to shake in nurse bees and get the population up. So there's a few on here, but not many. The reason I know they're nurse bees because we got brood right here, so you know there's a few nurse bees right in this area. These bees out here, probably not. That next frame doesn't look like it's going to have what we need. So before I shake this in there, I'm going to go down in the bottom. And that's all honey. If I shook this in there, I'd get a few, but not a big hole like I'd like. So we will go ahead and put 2 frames back in here. So here's an old frame from 2018. It's got a little bit of wax moth damage. So a hive nice and strong like this will clean that up in no time. And the queen can come up and have room to lay up here and not be honey bound. And here's a 2019 frame with a little bit of moth damage right there. Now this box is going to be heavy. Here's the spot to set it on here. The best time to get stung is when you pick up a box and you're leaning into it and you lean on a bee. You'll get stung every time, so make sure it's clear. Yep, it was heavy. All right. So now what we want to do down here is find a good frame that's got larvae, where we know there's a lot of nurse bees, and shake them into the split without getting the queen. So we want to keep a good eye out for that queen, so if we spot her we can get her moved away and isolate her, and then we can work faster and not have to worry about losing our queen into our split. So this is a 2021 frame, and that's what swarms are good for on new frames, man. They'll draw them out fast. Just make sure you got your wax coating on them. People say plastic foundation's no good. Well, it's no good if there's no wax on it. That's the key. Don't see our queen. There's quite a few bees down here in the bottom. Pretty strong hive. So here they're drawing this down and the queen's been laying on it recent. There's eggs all over this. Probably because she can't lay down here because they haven't drawn it out yet, but she would have if they had drawn it out. But so they're honey bound. There's too much honey up there in the top. Yeah, she's laid this side up nice. So this is a good nurse bee frame right here. So I'm going to take a minute and look over this real close. Because if we shake that queen into our newt and don't know it, that just messes everything up. We've wasted a queen. We don't want to waste our Wildflower Meadows queens. They're awesome. All right, time to do the shake. Clean them all off. I'm gonna get a lid on top of that. I can hear them roaring over there in the split. Once I get enough bees over there, I will put 2 empty frames in there. So I would bet most of these are nurse bees. So this whole frame here is going to do the trick for us. I believe that'll be all we need. Lots of pollen on here too. You know, I think I'm just going to put this frame in there whole because there's a lot of pollen, a lot of nurse bees, and it's not going to hurt these guys here a bit. Get you a shot of what this looks like here so you get kind of a feel of it. So see, there's quite a few bees in there. So we've got 3 frames of bees plus the one we shook. So we need to get us another frame in here, an empty one. So here's a nice frame. It's nice and empty. Getting a lot of bees in there. That's another thing tells me nectar flows over. They're smelling this honey. I'd like to shake one more frame of bees in there. I'm going to reduce this down a little bit. Let's go one more frame into here. So there's no capped brood. I can't tell. I don't think there's eggs on there in this spot. And that's all pollen there. I'm gonna go over a little more. Now here's a laid up frame full of capped brood right here next to it. Really wanting to see that queen. So that's a good candidate to shake off from. This one is too. All capped brood. This is what swarm queens will do for you. Boy, they will fill up a hive fast. This is a really good frame to shake off. Right now I'm just searching for the queen. So the 5th one over. If we find her, we'll come back and grab that. Eggs all over this. This is a queen hot spot here. That next frame looks good too. Really need to smoke this and get these bees out of my way, but I don't want to run that queen off if she's here. Wow, they're just rolling. There's so many. Well, one left. She's not laying on here, so we've missed her. Sometimes they'll run out on this outside frame and hide. Okay, we're going to grab that frame number 5 there and shake it. I'm going to give it a thorough looking over. Okay, I don't see her. I'm going to do this one as well. There's so many bees in here. We can afford to do this. Bees are falling off. Oh, I found the queen. Boy, howdy. I was almost to pull the trigger. Oh, she's right there on the bottom. I don't think that's focused, but trust me, she's there. I'm going to get her marked at the one-handed queen catcher and our white Posca pin. We'll get our pen primed. Woo, way too much ink. Now we need to find her. Oh, I did it upside down. Okay, beekeeping just happened to me. My queen catcher was upside down. Y'all saw that coming. Oh boy. So we let her walk up on the side because we don't want to chop any legs off. There, we got her. Okay, we got her in here. So while we've got her captured, we'll shake this frame off. Grab all these nurse bees. And I'll put this last empty frame in here. And then we're going to close this up. And I'm going to go ahead and move this over. Now let's get our queen marked. We got a lot of attendants on here trying to help her out. So that's when you do the most mess up marking a queen, is when you got a bunch of other bees on here. Wait till she gets in a position where we can push her up and not damage her there. Got her. Ah, move! These attendant bees are not making it easy. There, we got her marked good, and when you're done marking, you pull it down fast so it don't smear. And I'm going to put that over the top so they can't get in there and rub it off. So now we need to start putting the bottom back together. Now we can be liberal with the smoke. And we need to replace some frames that we've taken out. See, I'll put them in the middle. Looks like we need to put one in. There's one they can clean up. So our queen's nice and dry now. She's on the door, so I want to be careful opening it. There, she's off. Down and she goes. I'll smoke this pretty good, get them to go down. I'm going to set that other box on here. Okay, here's our queenless split here. So they're kind of regrouping. I got this feeder top on there, but not going to need it with all that honey that's in there. Going to be more concerned about robbing, but we'll see how it goes. Okay, so that's it for this one. We need to do it again. Running out of time. We need to get it done though. Lots of bees in the air. So the nectar flows over and it's late in the evening, all the bees are here and they smell that honey and nectar, so they're flying all over the place. So that's it for the video, and we'll follow up with putting the queens in these two nukes. So hopefully I get done with this. So give me a thumbs up if you would, and subscribe on your way out, and we'll catch you on the next beekeeping video. Y'all take care.